Welcome to #FinanceMaster. Kick back, relax, and enjoy this week's show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the #FinanceMaster show. This week, we start a new series speaking about how finance professionals can drive value creation. This is the core of what we should do. Not compliance, not control, but value creation. Over the coming weeks, months even, we will provide practical perspectives on exactly how you can do this. Because in our experience, we do this too little. But we have an advantage that I'll get back to of how we can leverage this to do it a lot more. But before we dig into today's show, let me just refresh on the rules. They are simple. We are recording this to be released as a podcast and to be released on video on the #FinanceMaster YouTube channel. We're streaming live to my page, the #FinanceMaster page on LinkedIn, and the #FinanceMaster page on YouTube. You can be a part of this show too. Any given time, ask your questions in the comments, share your reactions. First and foremost, let us know where you're tuning in from today. We always love to hear where you're from and perhaps also why you're here. Before we dig into today's content, let's just check some of the comments that we got on the event page. We have here Marie saying, you're speaking about if finance should be a cost center or a value driver. I would say it's a cost center whose purpose is to drive value creation, but we'll be listening to hear the discussion. And I would say if you think about cost center versus profit center, I tend to agree because we're not a profit center in a classical sense that you have a P&L. But we should be profit or even value drivers. So let's get back to that. Then we have Emmanuel says, the finance function can indeed evolve into a powerful value driver. Shifting perceptions will unlock new opportunities for strategic growth and impact. And that's exactly where we want to go. Strategic impact, strategic value creation. Then we have a LinkedIn user here saying, every function is a value driver. If well managed, motivated, and working together, like an engine, many moving parts which deliver a targeted, powerful output. And yes, absolutely true. Finance is not the only value driver in the company. Everyone should be value drivers. We just have, as I said, an advantage that puts us in pole position to do this. So great comments already to kick off the show, and I can already see some people letting us know where they're tuning in from. We have Ramadubu, I think, tuning in from the mining town of Jowanek, or I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right, in Botswana. Welcome to you. We have #Ethiopia UAE here from Biruk, and then Kumar saying he's from Nepal. So already there we have a ton of diversity in the show. So keep letting us know where you are tuning in from. Love to hear it. Meanwhile, we will get going with today's content. So this morning, European time, we published a blog post, how can finance professionals be a value driver? So the great question is the finance function a cost center or a value driver? Fundamental question with a complex answer. If you ask a random person in a company, they would likely say cost center, which has been the stereotype for ages. However, for the past 20 years, there's been a movement to try and create a different narrative. Instead of merely focusing on compliance and control, finance professionals should become business advisors whose primary purpose is to drive value creation in the company. This movement has been spurred by outside pressures, CEOs and markets demanding increased value creation from corporations, and internal desires for finance to play a more prominent role in the company. This is undoubtedly a positive narrative. However, it has been challenging for finance professionals. The simple reason is that most value creation doesn't happen in a vacuum. Finance professionals can't create much value from their cubicles in a spreadsheet. Instead, they should go into other departments and out to experience how their company's business is conducted. This sounds simple enough, yet it's a big challenge for professionals who are not overly enthusiastic about dealing with others, especially outside their profession. This requires new skills and new practical approaches to driving value creation. We've previously spoken about how CFOs can win the war on talent or for talent by establishing capability building academies to increase the skills. Now we will dedicate a series to practical approaches to driving value creation. I have been part of doing this many times. I remember in my previous role in industry, we created a framework for how we wanted to do this. It started with a vision or a why statement, purpose statement. It said finance professionals were there to drive value creation as a trusted partner. So we'll talk about the value creation piece and how to do that throughout this series here, whereas the trusted partner piece we'll leave for another time. The simplest way to approach this is by constructing a value driver tree. This will be relevant to most companies and be a familiar way for finance professionals to break down value creation. And if you go to the blog post from this morning, you can find an example of a value driver tree there. But we'll dig a lot more into that. So here's a question for you. Do you have a value driver tree model for your company? Question mark. Let us know. Meanwhile, we're just checking in to see where people are coming from. We have Swapnil tuning in from India, a LinkedIn user from Brussels, Christine from Kenya, and David from the US. So again, here now we are from Nepal to the US. Amazing. Simply amazing having so many people from all over the world tuning in and being part of the show. We also have Joy now from Philippines. Keep letting us know where you are coming in from. I don't know about you, but it gives me a lot of energy to see that the whole world is joining this show. Jeffrey from Netherlands, Ilhan from Azerbaijan. Amazing. Just keep letting us know. I'm so thrilled about seeing all these messages coming in here. So thanks a lot for that. Okay, so what is this value driver tree? From a financial viewpoint, most companies aim to create value for their shareholders. This can be expressed as the net present value of future cash flows to shareholders. When constructing a value driver tree, you must ensure that the components satisfy the MISI principles for shareholder value creation. That means the components are mutually exclusive, yet collectively exhaustive. In other words, each driver in the tree should be unique with no overlaps to other drivers. And in total, all the drivers should cover all the ways that shareholder value creation can be created. This helps you take a holistic yet complete approach to value creation, making it easier to prioritize where to put your efforts. A simple value driver tree following such an approach can be seen in the blog post from this morning. But if you want me to send it to you directly, feel free to send me a message on LinkedIn and I will get it to you. In this value driver tree, you will notice how revenue, cost, and assets cover the financial statement, let's say the historical perspective. And then we have future expectations that look forward. Naturally, future expectations can be challenging to make MISI, but they cover a broad perspective with countless value creation opportunities. So let's quickly review each driver, and in the coming shows, we will deep dive into them and discuss practical approaches to how you as finance professionals can drive value creation. So the first is revenue growth. Now, revenue is a simple function of price multiplied by volume. Naturally, in multi-product market customer companies, there's bound to be a mix effect between these. Price can be broken down into several drivers, from list prices to effective prices like after discount. Similarly, volume can be divided by products, market, customers, and so on. One way to analyze revenue is by conducting a sensitivity analysis, where you investigate how much volume would be impacted by a specific change in price, for instance. Then we have cost efficiency. Essentially, you could also look at volume multiplied by cost for each line item. However, each driver typically has a different anatomy, so we opt for looking at each cost item line by line in the financial statement. COGS, or cost of goods sold, would be broken down into unit cost, whereas headcounts would drive SG&A, sales, general, and administrative expenses. One way to analyze cost is by benchmarking units internally or against competitors if comparable data is available. Then there's asset efficiency. This covers all balance sheet items. You could argue that equity is missing as a driver. Instead of debt, you could name it as funding. For example, we look at cost efficiency line by line, since each driver works differently. Investments typically follow a business case approach, whereas working capital requires constant optimization and is broken down into drivers like DSO, days sales outstanding, or DPO, days payable outstanding. One way to analyze asset efficiency would be to consider the cash conversion cycle, meaning how fast sales translate into cash in the bank. Finally, we have future expectations. This covers internal and external drivers and the risk profile you want as a company. Speaking about the risk profile, different companies have different risk profiles. And the higher the risk profile, if you will, the higher the return shareholders or investors would demand getting from your company. Just to give an example. All these determine your ability to create revenue in the future. But of course, all future drivers will turn into historical drivers sooner or later. This is also where you take a strategic perspective on your company, which is a separate topic altogether. If you want more info on the strategic topic, send a message to me on LinkedIn saying strategic leadership, and I'll send you our article from this year on that topic. It's very exciting, but let's not get carried away here. One way to analyze the trends could be to perform a competitor analysis. Consider what you can learn from them and what your company's unique selling points are. Once you adopt a value driver approach, you will never run out of ways to drive value creation as a finance professional. This will ensure you can always bring relevant insights to the management meeting and help your stakeholders meet or beat their targets. Here's another question for you. Which of these value drivers do you primarily work with? Let us know in the comments. And as usual, all comments or questions we get in the show, we'll bring them up here on screen. So it's also a nice way to have your insights featured as well. But meanwhile, I'll just check in with the audience here. We have Nigeria joining, Roxanne from Canada, Dikwe from Nigeria, Kiago from Angola, Dave from Philippines, Arjun from Indonesia, Iman from Iran. We have Iman on one of our another training sessions. It was a kickoff session earlier this week, so good to see you here. We have Vietnam tuning in, Dongo from Kenya, David, appreciative of the show. Thanks a lot, David. We appreciate you too. Alaa from Iraq, someone from Papua New Guinea. So now we're from the US to Papua New Guinea, and that's, I don't think we can cover more time zones, but Elijah from Cameroon, Ahmed from Egypt, hello to you. Fuad from Morocco, another Philippines, Arthur tuning in there, Fatou from Brazil, nice. Murakinho from Nigeria, Mohammed from UAE. Will there be a recording of the webinar? Yes, we are recording it, and you can find all the previous shows on the #FinanceMaster YouTube channel. Just Google #FinanceMaster in one word, and the YouTube channel will pop up. Go and subscribe to it. You'll never miss a video again. And then we have more people tuning in here. Bangladesh, Biswas tuning in, Prajvaj from India, and also Zambia tuning in. I mean, amazing. Oh, there's one from Denmark. Hey, Denmark. I'm obviously standing here in Copenhagen, Denmark myself. Good to have you here, Christian. And Mariana from Brazil, and another one asking about the recording. So I just answered that. You can find it on the hashtag FinanceMaster YouTube channel. So many people tuning in today. This is just amazing. Keep letting us know where you're tuning in from. And if you have questions of your own, put them in the comments too. Or if you want to react to the show, we'd love to hear those reactions as well. So I promised you I was going to share an advantage that we have as finance professionals. So why is it that finance professionals are ideally placed to drive value creation? You may wonder why this role of a value driver falls to finance. There's a simple answer though. We have an unfair advantage. This comprises 5 factors that give us an unparalleled position that no one inside the company can replicate and no outside consultant can beat. So here are the 5 factors. Number 1, analytical skills. Finance professionals are some of the best at analyzing numbers and business challenges in general. Any business leader values this trait. Number 2, business acumen. We understand how business is conducted and how it relates to the numbers, which allows us to generate deeper insights. Number 3, cross-value chain. Finance spans the value chain. Maybe not everyone, but as a function, it allows us to see the business from a broader perspective. Number 4, access to data. Finance can access the company's financial and non-financial data. Pairing these data sets adds further depth to the insight generation. And finally, number 5, a seat at the table. By design, finance has a seat in most meetings and can make our presence heard. That allows us to make a difference. We challenge you to name any function or consultant who could be disadvantaged. Just put it in the comments. Happy to hear them, happy to be challenged, happy to discuss with you. This is a key point. We are stating an opinion here that we have an unfair advantage that no one else can beat. So let us know if you think anyone can beat it. Of course, we need business partnering skills to leverage this advantage. Being at the table matters little if all you do is sit in the back and take some notes and send an email afterwards. You need to be involved. You need to make yourself heard. But you have the opportunity to do that. Of course, we're still working on developing these skills, and that's fine, right? But this is just to talk to you about the opportunity that we have. So are you leveraging your unfair advantage? Did you even know you had one? Curious to hear it. Let us know in the comments. It doesn't change the fact that finance professionals are in an ideal position to drive value creation, whether we have business partner skills or not. We need to activate our advantage and get started. So if you need help with that, send me a message on LinkedIn. Let's talk how we can do this, because the potential is crazy. I used to say that we need to be our own weight worth in gold. And I don't care if you are skinny or not, it's a lot of money, right? And we need to go out there and create it. And it's possible, of course, a company needs to have a certain size and all that, but be that as it may. Please share your experiences working with the unfair advantage, being a value driver, and help others unlock their unfair advantage too. Become unbeatable drivers of value creation. Do it in the comments, both here in the video now or afterwards, or do it on the blog post this morning. It's on us to do this, and I know you can do this. I've done this myself. It took some time, but it means it's definitely not impossible, not even for an introvert finance professional like myself. You can do it too. And more people are tuning in here. Let's see, we have Iraq. Robert says, thank you. You're welcome. Biswas says, excellent conversation, practical framework. Yes, we want to make it simple, practical, and actionable. Why? Because it increases the chance of you actually being able to use it and doing something different. Mahmoud from Egypt as well. Sophia from Malawi, also welcome here. And Ehsan says he's agree. I hope it's to the whole thing. Maybe it was a specific point, and that's also fine. Next week, we will deep dive into revenue or growing the company and speak about different ways we can do this. I'll share some of my examples from my career, and hopefully you will share some of yours too. And each week, we'll go through one of the 4 segments. Then we'll round it off with some more practical perspectives on how to really just knock it out of the park. But with that, let's round off today's show. Hope to see you again next week. And meanwhile, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn anytime. Lots of valuable content coming there. But yeah, see you next week.
You've been listening to #FinanceMaster. Don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on the latest trends in finance and accounting.